Hello there, my lovelies. This is Brady, and, I'm coming at you freshly vaccinated. I just feel the power running through me, coursing. So, yeah. But it kind of put me on my butt for a few days, so that's why this video's a little bit late. But you know what? I'm going to stop apologizing for videos being late, because I'll get them when you get them. They'll be weekly, sort of. And you'll get it when you get it. Get over it. Let's find out what I got into this week, huh? Reviews versus the world. Alright, the first thing I want to talk about today is actually catching up on something that I mentioned that I was into a little while ago. And you may remember I kind of loved a lot. And that is, of course, Monster Hunter Rise. Now, I mentioned last time that this is probably my second favorite game on the Switch, and that is definitely still the case. So I am now about 100 hours into playing this game, and it has not lost its luster at all, and I've loved it. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it this week was not only because I've been playing it a lot more, and I've been loving it, but also they've released a new update. The update version 2.0, which removed the cap to hunter ranks, which, in layman's terms, that's basically saying, hey, you can level up to 999 if you want, and it's just kind of a prestige thing, but also different things will unlock depending on your hunter rank. And one of the things that they did was they dropped 4 new monsters. And that, in a game like Monster Hunter, is actually a huge update. And these monsters are all awesome. I've loved playing against them. I've loved branching out. So now that I've been so reliant on my hunting horn build for so long. And so I've decided to branch out a little bit and go, no, I want to try some other things. So I tried out the hammer for a little while, which is great because it's just unga bonga bonk bonk bonk, which is awesome. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to just ram a T-Rex in the head with a giant hammer? It's a blast. But I've also been using the light bowgun a little bit. And the light bowgun is a lot of fun because you do have to craft all these special ammos for it. But once you figure out exactly, okay, well, I need to start concentrating on these resources so I can get the right ammo for it, then you can really customize this weapon to a point where you can't really customize other weapons. And just switching between the different ammos is actually very easy. It's very streamlined. And so that is a lot of fun. But my favorite thing about it is one of the Silkbind attacks has you jumping up in the air. You throw yourself way up in the air and you kind of fling yourself over the monster. And the great part about that is while you're over the monster, you have kind of this mine that you can drop onto them. And then if you hit that mine, then you do a lot more damage. And so by putting it onto the monster, you ensure that you're going to get that damage on them. And it's great. It feels really good. This game is awesome. I know I've talked about it a lot in the past, and I'm going to keep on talking about it because they keep on releasing new updates. I mean, there's another update scheduled for this month, and with even more monsters, more story content, and I am all in for it. This game is rad. Now, speaking of rad games, I also got to give a shout out to Tales from the Borderlands. Now, this is a game that I actually played a little bit back on the PS4, back a couple of years ago. I got through basically the first episode and I loved it, but you know me, I'm not really much into playing on my PS4 or my Xbox. It's just not really, it's not how I prefer to game with my life and, my kids being what they are. And so, you put Tales from the Borderlands on the Switch, I'm going to pick it up again. And man, oh man, can I just tell you, I love Borderlands. It is by far my favorite looter shooter. A lot more than Destiny, which is saying something because Destiny is, prestige game. It's by Bungie, the Halo guys. But one thing that Destiny has always lacked is personality. I mean, you basically imagine the most bland aliens that you can, and you're probably pretty close to the actual designs that you have in Destiny. But with Borderlands, you get psychos, you get crazy things, you get this art style that's so different, and it's so much fun. Now, one thing that has sadly been kind of hit and miss, however, in the Borderlands games is the humor, because it goes all in on the humor, and yeah, it's a lot of personality there, but it doesn't always land. Sorry, Claptrap, I'm not laughing out loud at everything that you say. It's just not happening. Telltale's From the Borderlands. Now, here's what I'll say from Tales from the Borderlands. It is a Telltale game. So Telltale, you know, they are famous for the point-and-click adventure games. Basically, what those evolved into is Telltale. And I love Telltale games. They always have such great and clever writing. They have interesting premises. You know, I've always really dug them. And I've always really dug Borderlands. And you know what? Here's the thing. You give Telltale and their writers a shot at Borderlands, oh, they're going to knock it out of the park. And I will say, Tales from the Borderlands is not only my favorite Borderlands game, it's also my favorite Telltale game. It is so outstanding. And if you just want proof positive of it, you can look up any intro cutscene to any of the 5 episodes and watch that on YouTube. And you will see just how well crafted and directed and acted these games are. Tales from the Borderlands is awesome, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. Alright, so now going a little bit off of that gamer humor that I was mentioning, you know, sometimes you find YouTube channels that hit that gamer itch, where it's like, hey, I know you. I know what you like, and you're gonna laugh at this. You're gonna think that it's funny. And, you know, a lot of the time, it's miss. You know, it's not that great. Sometimes, it's awesome. You know, for example, Dorkly, which, you know, I'm sure that I'm going to talk about Dorkly at some point in one of these updates, because it's good stuff. But today, I wanted to talk about Viva la Dirt League. So, Viva la Dirt League is something that you've probably seen advertised a few different places. You've probably seen it on Facebook a lot. They do a lot of their advertising on Facebook. But of course, they also have their YouTube channel. And that's where I prefer to watch it, because Facebook ads are so annoying. They're so annoying. And I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't need your ads. But anyway, so Viva la Dirt League, it's this comedy group from New Zealand, and they are all very much gamers. They know gamer culture. And although they really kind of focus in on a few different things, like PUBG is something that they are the only people in the world that are still talking about PUBG and still making videos about PUBG. And, you know, their sketches are pretty funny. Those are pretty good. But the ones that I really love are the generic RPG, like MMORPG videos that they make. Because what they do is they always have this epic NPC, man. That's kind of a branding that they have. And they actually released this video that is a longer video. It's a short film. It is a half an hour long. And it is focusing in on an NPC that the only things that they say is, "Morning, nice day for fishing, innit?" And that's the only thing that they ever say. And, you know, they've used this NPC a few times in the past, and it's always been funny. And so they had this half-hour movie dedicated to this guy, and it is so well produced, it is well written, it is funny, it is well acted. The special effects are actually pretty decent for just this little YouTube channel. And the music is awesome. Guys, Viva la Dirt League. I don't know what they're putting in the water down there in New Zealand to make people like you have with Viva la Dirt League or Taika Waititi, but keep bringing it on. I love that. I love that humor. Just give it to me. And then, yeah, go check out Viva la Dirt League. They put out some great stuff. All right, now on to the main event, and that is the Mitchells versus the Machines. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm actually a very big fan of Into the Spider-Verse. Now, I'm not one of those people that you see that claims that it's the best superhero movie ever made or anything like that. I love the animation, I love the style, I think that it has some great themes to it and that it hits well on those themes. And the humor is great, the writing is awesome, the acting is excellent. But there are, some movies specifically in the MCU that I would actually put above Into the Spider-Verse. However, that team knows what they're doing, and they know how to make some great animation, and they know how to make it unique, and how to make it a little bit bonkers. And they made Mitchells versus the Machines, and oh boy howdy is this movie bonkers. It is wacky in all of the best ways. Now, the Mitchells versus the Machines, it's about this family who, the Mitchells, who you have a mom, you have a dad, you have the daughter who's the main character who, she's a filmmaker and she has this creative brain that no one quite has ever really understood her, especially her dad. And her relationship with her dad is a big part of the movie. And then there's also their son who is just obsessed with dinosaurs, and that's the only thing that he cares about, and he's pretty hilarious too. But what I love here is the father-daughter dynamic that you get, and how well realized that is amongst all this wackiness about a robot apocalypse. You have this father and this daughter, and their relationship is very believable. And there's something that I love where you have a character who doesn't know what someone else sacrificed for them. It is a trope that I really enjoy. For example, you have Wall-E is one of the best examples that I can think, where, while Eve was stuck in her standby mode waiting to be picked up from Earth, Wall-E was there by her side, protecting her from the wind and the rain and doing everything that he could to protect Eve. And of course, she didn't know she was in standby. So the Mitchells versus the Machines has this element to it of something that the dad gave up for his daughter, and she never knew. She never had any idea. And when she finds that out, it's such a heartwarming moment. And this insane bonkers show that has a lot of that just animation style and flair to it that you get from Into the Spider-Verse, you would not expect it to be so heartwarming, and yet it is. The Mitchells vs. the Machines, it's on Netflix now, and you owe it to yourself to go watch it. It's awesome. And that's it for this week. So, we had some really exciting stuff happen, and I can't wait to show you guys some of the stuff that we have down the pipeline. Now, of course, in addition to Reviews versus the World, I have several other projects. 1D10 the show, which, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but you'll see that coming back here pretty soon. Spectrum of Sounds, that is something that I'm very passionate about. It's all about teaching music to kids on the autism spectrum, and if you know me, you know that is really all my deal. And I'm going to get back into that as well. But one thing that I have started doing that I can highly recommend is I've started working with a group called 4 Shorts. And so what they are is they're little sketches, little shorts that are comedies. And I've written the music for a few of them, but upcoming I have a few that I wrote, directed, and acted in. So I'll make sure that everyone knows about them when they come, but it's exciting stuff. And I can't wait for you guys to all see it. It's really cool. And for now, go make sure that you subscribe to them right away. Well, subscribe here first, obviously. But then, go down below to 4 Shorts. Subscribe to them, because you'll be seeing a lot of me there. And, well, you'll see me here next week, too. So, yeah. Review!